Watch out on your left. No. Ah! Freaking camper!
Relax, Chris. Deep breaths. Now repeat with me. Goose fraba.
Goose fraba.
Yeah. Better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Geek Done Right, the show where I talk about whatever it is I feel like. I'm Chris. Thanks for coming to geek out with me. Now, that skit may have seemed a little silly and ridiculous, but to be honest, it happens to a lot of gamers. A lot of different things happen, and we tend to turn to hulking rage monsters. This episode is actually going to be called how to keep from getting tilted while you're getting absolutely owned in video games. Too much? Okay, maybe gamer anger management. But really, honestly, anger in video games is quite common. I see it with a lot of my friends and a lot of the other people that have been around, and I've even seen it within myself. I mean, it can happen to the best of us, but there really are a lot of problems that come with getting angry so regularly. To kind of help us through that, y'all may not know, but my amazing wife over here, Callie, is actually a clinical neuropsychologist. She's licensed, y'all. That means she knows what she's talking about. Before we really get into this, I want to point out that it's important for you to be completely open about this. Be real and take a good look at yourself, because anger really isn't a good thing to constantly have. I mean, Callie, what's wrong with getting angry so much?
You know, so anger in and of itself isn't bad, but when you're feeling angry all the time without really resolving what's underlying the anger, it's got a lot of bad health effects for you, and it can also kind of bleed over into your other relationships. It very rarely is your anger going to be just solely contained to the game. It's going to bleed over into how you talk to your wife, your kids, your mom, whoever that you interact with. It could also bleed over into your work situation. If you have a bad, I don't know the terms for all this gaming stuff, so help me out here. If you have like a bad raid or whatever, and then you go to work or to school right after that, you're probably going to be in a bad mood, and nobody wants to be around that. It's really tough.
Yeah, it's not fun going into work after you have dealt with stupid people for hours on end. Yeah.
Other than kind of the impact it can have on your relationships, it also has a lot of very serious health effects. So people who have chronic anger issues, who are over and over and over throughout the day getting angry, have usually higher blood pressure. It can increase anxiety. If you're already dealing with anxiety, getting angry increases that anxiety. It can lead to headaches. And there's actually been studies where after you've had an angry outburst, within the 2 hours after that outburst, your risk of heart attack doubles.
Whoa.
And your risk of stroke triples.
Woo!
So it could literally be a life or death situation for you, how you're handling your anger and what you're allowing it to do to your body. It also lowers your immune functioning, decreases your lung capacity, so you actually can't breathe as well if you're getting angry over and over again. So there's all sorts of health reasons to learn how to manage your anger better, reduce the amount of time that you're spending angry, and learn how to respond to your anger in healthier ways.
Yeah, so, man, I didn't even realize that there were so many things that could be tied to it, but I can definitely see a lot of it.
And this is based on science, so we'll link to some of the research studies that kind of talk about the effects of anger. You can read through it yourself, draw your own conclusions.
Yeah, well, the links to everything that we're talking about today will be in the description section down below. I posed a question to a bunch of my gamer friends on Facebook.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to get a feel for, what's causing anger when y'all play.
Yeah, what are those situations where that just really get your goat? The number one that I saw really was cheaters.
Lag hacking. What is it?
Yeah, lag hacking actually was huge in the earlier Call of Duty days, but there still is a lot of cheating going on. There's a lot of hacking that people do. There's a lot of exploits within games, but there are people that really utilize these exploits in a way that makes the game a little less fun and not as fair.
Yeah, and that sense of unfairness, that's a valid thing to feel frustrated about and to get upset about. Some of the other things that we saw in people's responses were having to deal with teammates that maybe aren't reliable. They drop out when you've already started your raid.
That one's the worst. I can understand that one because when you're sitting there, you finally have a raid group together. I mean, I played Destiny 2 a lot, and you finally get this raid group together, and you're working hard. You're just not getting past a certain point, and then this person that was really doing you some good just drops out. They leave you hanging. Some of the other things which I've gotten frustrated with myself. I mean, all these things I've seen even within my own gaming experience. Equipment malfunctions, like lag, like you're totally owning in this fighting game, and then all of a sudden, due to lag, this person just totally destroys you. You're not landing punches, or that you got somebody in a game, but they turn around and kill you, and you didn't hit them at all. So many different things like that. And then the worst thing, the worst thing is when somebody kills you in a game, and then they taunt you. I think one of the points of gaming too, though, is that people want to be able to feel powerful. Now, a lot of things in life are out of our control. When we play these games, we feel like we are in control. We feel powerful. We sometimes with certain games we almost feel godlike. Yeah. So it finally gives us control of situations that where in life we don't usually get that.
Yeah. And so I think that's really where those situations that you're feeling angry are. When you are faced with that loss of control, something outside of your control frustrated you. It stopped you from reaching your goal somehow because of factors that were outside of your control, whether that's caused by other people or caused by your own equipment not working right, or it's something about that loss of sense of control in the environment that really sets people off, it seems like.
I will say, though, usually the complaints are never "I screwed up."
It's always about somebody else.
Yeah. It's never I missed that shot, or my fingers slipped during that combo, no, that was not a very good strategy.
Yeah, it seems like you always try to blame it on somebody else or something else.
Right, because this is something that in your mind you can control.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing besides the sense of control is kind of the sense of fairness, that the world should be fair and therefore cheaters should not be allowed in your game. It's a valid thought. I don't know if it's a realistic thought. Is the world really fair?
Yeah. And really? Campers aren't fair either.
Right. Yeah.
That's not fair. I don't like campers.
So I think these cheaters are just an extension of reality.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of have to Yeah, I have to deal with it. I wanted to talk to you kind of about what can gamers actually do to try to fix some of these issues that are kind of leading them to be angry.
Well, there's no perfect solutions to everything. And a lot of people complain that reporting cheaters doesn't really do anything. However, because that's kind of the culture, like, oh, nothing happens when I report them, so I'm just not going to report them anymore. You're not the only one that thinks that. If everybody reported these cheaters, then something will eventually be done. I mean, if the people working on the game actually get all these reports about this one particular individual that's cheating, then something's going to be done eventually. So getting out of that mindset of, well, it's never going to work. Try it anyway, and try and get everybody else to do it as well. The other thing too, to avoid like the taunters and things. I mean, I know, especially within Call of Duty, you would be able to hear the opposing team's chat, and they would taunt you over chat and things like that, and you would get totally tilted. But the way to kind of prevent that is, instead of just trying to play with randoms and things like that, wait until your friends can get online and then utilize party chat. I mean, or even if your friends aren't playing the game, they're playing something else or don't even own the game that you're trying to play, talk with them over party chat instead of things like that. I know you want to coordinate with your team and whatnot, but utilizing party chat or utilizing a Discord server or whatever you may use, that can actually help a lot, especially when you guys are friends. You use more positive language toward each other. You may do some good-natured ribbing, but you understand that that is never mean-spirited. Are we really, honestly, so good that we never make a mistake in a game, or that nobody can beat us? There's always going to be somebody better than you at the game that you play. Always. And they may not necessarily be cheating. They may just be so good that they will get you before you get them. So I guess what I'm trying to say is get good. Do what you can to increase your skill and get better. If we're being completely honest with ourselves, then we'll realize that we're not the greatest players on planet Earth.
So I think all those strategies are kind of trying to reduce your frustration, either by controlling who you're interacting with, increasing your own skill so that you can reach your goals better, and trying to do what you can about the cheaters, report them, and do what you can from your side. You can't control all of them, but you can at least report that they're unfair and that they're interfering with your enjoyment of the game.